Sam Logue here for irishboxing.com in Crumlin Boxing Club today, joined by Peter Carr of Global Kickboxing. Peter, how are you?
Not bad, not bad.
You're down here in Crumlin Boxing Club, obviously doing a bit of training with Phil Sutcliffe and the boys in Crumlin, but you are predominantly a kickboxer, right? Yeah. So talk to the viewers of irishboxing.com about kind of your career and what you're aiming to do in the kickboxing.
My career so far has been very good, but I'm aiming to let people know who kickboxers are, because not a lot of people know them yet, because it's not advertised or televised yet as much as boxing. But hopefully they were saying that so far the European Championships are coming up, and they were saying if you win these you qualify for the Olympic Games, but they say that. So hopefully it is go through, because this year is the Nationals, the 6th of March, it's to qualify for the Europeans, and then if you win them, so on, you go into the Olympic Games, but hopefully it gets there.
Lovely. What's your standing then in Europe and in the world rankings and stuff? And also, what weight are you fighting at? So what I'm getting at there is kind of what are your expectations going to the European Championships to win and to get qualified for the Olympics straight out of that, or and in general, like what's your ranking and where are you in the kickboxing?
Well, the ranking, it's very hard to explain in kickboxing, because in ranking now I'm at the winning 16 world titles. And I have won 4 European titles. And I know there's a big difference between 16 and 4. Because when you go to the Worlds, you can weigh in many groups you like. There's different organisation in the Worlds. I know when people say one World is only a World 1 champion, but there's all different organisations. So with them, I weighed in the senior. When I was a kid, when I was a junior, I weighed in the seniors. When I was a different weight and all different weights. And then team events, you can fight with 3 on the team. So there are different World Championships you have. And then the Europeans as well, you come up. But I was for a while, I was ranked number 1. I didn't lose for a while till I had my first loss in 8 years. It's a big loss, big turnaround, but you live and learn. Yeah,
I was going to say, like, for one loss in 8 years, it must be. How did you deal with that then? I mean, you could probably got so used to winning and probably almost felt like had an air of invincibility around you. Probably didn't feel like you could lose, and then you did lose. So what was the context around that loss? Like, what was the tournament? What was the event? And then I suppose subsequently, how did that make you feel?
Losing completely changed me completely. Yeah. It physically and mentally changed me, because it just goes to show, no matter who you are, how big you are, you're human. We're all human. We can lose and we can win. I took it bad for a while, but you have to grow up, you know. I got back into it. I'm back with Crumlin now, back with Jimmy. I'm going back up to KKC. There's loads of clubs that I'm going to start going around for different sparring and different skills, because you can't just stick to the one. I want to get a bit of everything, because I know I have the ability to do it, but I need help that much more to help me push, you know.
Well, that's interesting that you may have a club, but you're not really fixed in any one particular place. Like, you're having to travel around for training in different areas. Obviously, come to Crumlin for the expertise of Phil Sutcliffe and the great coaching staff here, and to obviously get to work with the good boxers and stuff. But yeah, talk to me about that. That's interesting that you're not really fixed in one area, but you feel like you have to travel around to get different types of training in different gyms.
To me, I want to be a mixed martial artist, and not an MMA sense. In MMA, where mixed martial arts do everything. At the moment, I do kickboxing, boxing and Muay Thai. I do Muay Thai or Dublin Thai boxing. I do my kickboxing with Global and KKC, and I do my boxing here. They're the 4 main clubs I go to. Like, I know I move around, but these are my 4 main clubs I want to stick with, because there's no one better. They help you the best, really. You know.
So talk to me about your expectations for qualifying for the Olympics. Is it in your head, is it a dead cert, or what are your expectations going into the European Championships?
Well, obviously, of course I want to win. That's the main thing. But one thing that I want to do first is make the family proud. You know, I have to do it for them. At the end of the day, I'm 23, I have years ahead of me. It's my man that I want to look after first. So if I get to the Olympics, that will help me out major. Like, I can look after my family, you know. As they say, like, I'm a big boy now. It's time to put bread on the table, like, you know.
Yeah, I get that one for sure. So what are the goals and aspirations going forward? Is the plan to become a professional kickboxer, professional boxing, MMA perhaps? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the combat sports world in the next few years?
See, to me, I'm in kickboxing 18 years. If we go into MMA, there's someone in there doing 18 years ground game. What is the chances of me going against someone and beating them at ground game like that? So to me, I have to understand that I'm a kickboxer and I'm a boxer. But so I don't know if Phil was saying to you, but I'll be turning pro boxing soon. So
unbelievable. All right, so we have a little exclusive here. So Peter Carr is turning pro in boxing. Okay, talk to me about that. I presume you're going to box out of Crumlin with Phil, and and Jimmy Upton, and is there any promoter or management group that you're going to be signing with? Tell me as much information as you can about that.
It's not a lot that I can say because we don't have much yet, but so far it's me, Jimmy and Phil. That's us three so far, because that's I've always wanted my team, because I've always knew they'll bring me on to someone that I should be like, and they're not afraid to give out to me like when I do something wrong, where someone else be like, just to advertise, I'll keep going, you're doing good, but if I did something wrong, if I dropped my hands, Phil and Jimmy, they'd slap you, they wouldn't be afraid, So that's the confidence they give you.
Yeah. You need that, don't you? You need to have respect for your trainers. You need your trainers to almost be in charge, right?
Yeah. See, sometimes I'm not like, you won't call them a trainer, you'll call them as a second father sometimes, because there is a lot where people don't see in the training room. If you lose, they're there. Yeah. They help you come through it, help you through it. Like, there's a lot of people that did help me through it, but then there's a lot of people that didn't, that said they would, so that's where you have to pick your team and stay with your team.
Yeah. So talk to me about being in Crumlin Boxing Club with Phil Sutcliffe. Obviously, you've just dropped it there. You're going to turn pro in boxing, but obviously you are a kickboxer. You seem to be predominantly a kickboxer for the most part, right? So why is it that you come down here for boxing specific training, and obviously why have you chosen Phil Sutcliffe in Crumlin Boxing Club?
Because I'm not going to lie, for a while I was going around to different clubs sparring and I was doing good, but when I came up here I was getting ass whippings, so it kind of made me like, oh shit, like I have to cop on, like I have to push myself. So every time I came up, I came on better and better, and I was sparring like I used to spar Phil Jr. I've never been hit as hard like that before, and like Willow Hayden and that, it's just different up here. It's the stuff that's going to bring you on that will help me in me fighting, and that's what you want, isn't it?
Wow, definitely. How do the two sports interact? Like, if you're doing boxing specific sparring and boxing specific training, how do you kind of filter that into fighting in a kickboxing match, if you know what I mean? Because obviously when you're sparring for boxing, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind from a technical perspective is the distance is different in a kickboxing fight and in a boxing fight. You can be closer in a boxing match, but because of the legs in a kickboxing match, you have to have a little bit more distance. You have to be wary of different things. So how do you kind of translate what you learn in boxing and through your boxing practice into kickboxing?
See, a lot of people ask me this. To me, there obviously is a big difference, but when you're doing both, when you're actually doing it, it feels like not a big difference, because I'm just kicking as well, but I can kick free and close and further. Because as I was saying, Jimmy Upton, he's my boxing coach and kickboxing coach. He'll teach you to be in close, be out of range, and then when you go to, like, if I do kickboxing, I'm going to kickbox. If I do boxing, I'm just going to box. I'll never think about kicking. That never come into my head, but my stance will stay the same.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just the difference is, when you're in boxing, you could roll lower. In kickboxing, you can't, because you get kicked in the head. That's the difference. Yeah. It's the only difference. Okay,
all right, interesting, because it's always something I like to talk to MMA guys about, and kickboxers of how they translate, doing the different types of training and stuff, and then bringing them into different sports. But so obviously you're based down here in Crumlin for the boxing. We await a more official announcement for the professional, well, the announcement on turning pro. But I think we'll leave it at that for the moment. But Peter Carr, thank you very much for talking to IrishBoxing.com.